It's that time of the year we need to talk about Newton's 3 laws of motion, and we're going to start off with Aristotle's first law of motion. Okay, so Aristotle was a Greek philosopher way before Newton, and he said, if you push on an object, it's going to move, and if you stop pushing on it, it's going to stop moving. And that made a lot of sense. And it made so much sense that Newton's first law had to come along and say, actually, Aristotle was wrong. And that's what Newton's first law says. It says Aristotle was wrong. Now, if you want to say it in other terms, you could say it this way. If I have an object and there's no forces acting on it, then there's going to be no change in motion. So commonly you'd say an object moves in a straight line at a constant speed unless acted upon by a force. But really, that's the opposite of what Aristotle said, so that's really the goal there. Number 2, Newton's second law. Newton's second law says that if you push on an object with a force, then we can find its acceleration based on the mass of the object. So this is your F net equals mass times acceleration. It's the total force that's important, and force and acceleration both depend on direction, so they're vectors. Now, you can say Newton's first and second law are the same thing, right? If there's no net force, then the acceleration would be 0, and so it wouldn't change speed or direction. See, they're the same thing. That's why you have to say Newton's first law is like Aristotle is wrong. Okay, now we're down here to Newton's third law. If I have two objects that interact, well, then there's a force that A pushes on B and a force that B pushes back on A. And it turns out that those are equal and opposite forces because forces are an interaction between two things. So A pushes on B, B pushes on A, and those are equal and opposite. So FA on B is negative FAB on A. Now, again, a lot of people would write this as, or they would say this as, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I mean, yeah, but that implies that action and reaction implies things have to be moving, but it doesn't have to be moving. Any two forces, any two objects interacting have equal and opposite forces. They don't have to be moving. So it's better to say for every force there's an equal and opposite force, or forces come in pairs. Newton's 3 laws plus Aristotle's wrong law. There you go.